Hi, it's the 8th of May 2019. Just time for a quick tour of the allotment. This is one lot of onions, growing nicely. This is my rather peculiar pea stand. I put grass down to try and fool the birds into leaving the peas alone because they've been pecking at them. Most of them seem to be surviving so far. There's the garlic. This is my rather splendid, if I do say so myself, bean structure made from assorted hazel poles and bamboo canes. And I've planted some beans. It was terribly windy today, so I want to see if they're still okay. That one looks all right. That's a French bean. Over on that side there's my 3 runner beans. I'm going to put chickpeas and sweet corn here. Here are some bush beans protected by the netting, and on the other side of them I'm going to put the other kind of sweet corn, some lettuces that Chris planted. He accidentally thought they're cauliflowers. He thought they were lettuces too. He's planted them too close together, but I'll be able to transplant them, I suppose, if they survive the slugs. The broad beans are flowering and they smell beautiful. And there are some little beans. There's one. The rhubarb's big enough. We've had a rhubarb crumble from it. These onions left over from last year, I think they're going to seed and we'll probably have to pull them up. I've used some of them rather belatedly to disguise the fact that there are peas growing here. I think most of the peas have been eaten, but there's a couple surviving. Behind there's a different kind of dry bean, bush bean, also under cover because the wind's still pretty fierce and the air is a bit cold. Over here is a stand of climbing dry beans. The variety is Saxon. I got them from Canada. There's a couple of Winter King cabbages. I pulled the other ones up because they were going to seed and they clearly weren't going to heart out, so I'm not sure if these will either. And behind them some broccoli. Quite a lot of broccoli. There's a few. They're getting a bit thin now and they're beginning to flower. Over at that end are 2 rows of Chris's potatoes just coming up, and the poor dog had to be tethered because the neighbours throw their waste food over for the foxes and he was gobbling it up, but he's had his dinner already. In the seed bed, the carrots, I think these are beetroots here. There's half a row of beetroots and half a row of carrots. The carrots are growing at last, about 6 weeks after I sowed them. This row is supposed to be parsnips intersown with radishes. Well, the radishes have come up, but I can't see any sign of any parsnips. I don't know. Don't give up hope yet. There's cauliflowers, the replants that I put in, and a couple of ones from last winter that were still not growing very well. They're growing now. On this side, I was going to say there's the one remaining cauliflower, but in fact there are 2. There's one down there and one up here. The cauliflowers we had were absolutely huge and beautiful. I don't know what I did. I planted them in September and I thought they were dead, but I left them there and they've all flowered perfectly. So it's cauliflower cheese all the way. There are Chris's other potatoes, all coming up nicely, and beyond that my compost berm. These are all the gooseberry bushes. They've already got little gooseberries on them that we planted supposedly as a windbreak. They'll do something, I guess, as a windbreak. Behind there's more beans. Sweetheart cabbages, they haven't hearted up yet. I do hope that they do so because they've also been there all winter. Beyond there, other onions and more of the lettuces. And there's a rogue potato. There are lots of potatoes coming up, which we'll probably leave and see what happens. Another one there. Behind the potatoes, these are field corn or something. And in here, the asparagus. Here's my hazel hedge. There may be room for 1 or 2 more, can't there? Because we can use next door's allotment as a run because they have abandoned it, which is rather sad.
Josterberry's fruiting already. In fact, everything's fruiting already. There's a cherry tree. The plan is we're going to build a cage for these before they get ripe. So there's Chris earthing up the potatoes in case we get more cold winds. I think it's unlikely we'll get a frost now, but there may be more cold winds. Here's a rogue bean plant that grew from a bean that must have landed last year. It's doing okay all on its own. So that's it. See you later. Bye.